There's a moment almost everyone hits eventually. You finally get the thing you've wanted for years. The job. The relationship. The house with the driveway you used to point at as a kid. And for a few days, you feel exactly the way you thought you would. Then something strange happens. Something psychologists have a specific name for. And once you learn it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Let's start with the moment itself. Not the achievement. The morning after. You wake up. Same ceiling. Same light through the same blinds. You reach for your phone out of habit before your brain even catches up to what happened yesterday. And then it hits you. You did it. You got the job. The one you built a 5-year plan around. You closed on the house. You said yes, and someone said yes back. For about a day, maybe 2, there's a glow. People text you. You repeat the story a few times, and it still feels good coming out of your mouth. Then the calls stop coming in. And you're just there. In the same body. With the same thoughts. Looking at the thing you wanted so badly, waiting for it to feel like more than it does. This isn't a story about ingratitude. You're not a bad person for feeling this. You're not broken, and you're not alone. There's a term for exactly what you're experiencing. Researchers call it the arrival fallacy. It's a phrase coined by a Harvard psychologist studying happiness and achievement. And the idea is simple, almost embarrassingly simple once you hear it. We believe that arriving somewhere, a title, a relationship, a milestone, will change how we feel on the inside. Permanently. Like flipping a switch. But the switch doesn't flip. Not really. Studies on major life events back this up again and again. People who win the lottery. People who get married. People who land the dream promotion. Almost all of them report the same pattern. A spike in happiness. Sharp, real, undeniable. Followed by a return. Not to misery. Just back to baseline. Back to whatever emotional weather they were living in before the arrival happened at all. Psychologists have a term for this too. Hedonic adaptation. Your brain, it turns out, is built to adjust. To normalize. To stop noticing things, even good things, once they become familiar. Which sounds almost cruel when you say it out loud. You climbed the mountain. Your brain shrugged and started looking for the next one. Think about the last time you got something you'd wanted for a long time. Not something small. Something you'd built part of your identity around getting. Maybe it was graduating. Maybe it was finally moving out. Maybe it was a relationship you'd hoped for through years of almost happening with other people. Can you remember how long the feeling actually lasted? Not the memory of the feeling. The feeling itself. For most people, if they're honest, it's days. Sometimes hours. Take the promotion, for example. The one with the new title, the new office, maybe a small pay bump you've been quietly hoping would change everything about how Sunday nights felt. For a week you notice it. You mention it at dinner. You catch yourself smiling at your own email signature. By week 3, it's just your job again. Same inbox. Same meetings. Same Sunday night dread, just wearing a slightly nicer title. Or take the relationship. The one you spent years wanting, watching other people have it while you sat on the outside of it, wondering what was wrong with you. You get it. It's real. It's good, even. And 6 months in, you find yourself scrolling your phone next to someone you used to daydream about, feeling the same low hum of restlessness you felt before they existed in your life at all. None of that means the job is wrong, or the relationship is wrong. It means the thing you were expecting it to do, permanently fill a specific kind of emptiness, was never something a job or a person was built to do in the first place. And here's the part that stings a little. Once the feeling fades, the mind doesn't rest. It doesn't say, okay, that's enough good things for a while. It starts scanning again. For the next milestone. The next title. The next relationship, or the next version of the one you're in. This is where a lot of people quietly panic. Because if the big things don't fix the emptiness, what does? Some chase harder. Bigger job. Bigger house. A new relationship that will surely be different this time. A slightly more impressive version of the exact same cycle. Others give up on wanting anything at all, which brings its own kind of numbness, a flat, low-grade resignation that's just as exhausting as the chasing was. But there's a third option. One that doesn't get talked about much, because it isn't a hack or a life tip. It's older than either of those categories. Long before modern psychology had a name for the arrival fallacy, the Quran was describing the exact same pattern. Not with clinical language. With imagery. It compares the pursuit of worldly life to rain that makes vegetation grow, lush, admired, impressive to look at, and then, not long after, it withers. It turns to scattered debris, as if it had never been green at all. Sit with that image for a second. A field, fully alive, farmers proud of it, people passing by and noticing it. And then, almost without warning, it's gone. Not destroyed by anything dramatic. Just faded, the way all growing things eventually fade. That's not a condemnation of ambition. It's an honest description of a cycle. Growth, admiration, and then fading. Every single time, no exceptions, regardless of how deserved or well-earned the growth was. The Quran doesn't say don't want things. It doesn't say ambition is a flaw or achievement is empty. It says don't expect a house, a job title, or another person to hold weight they were never built to hold. Because nothing temporary was ever designed to fill something permanent. That's not a guilt trip. It's almost a relief, if you sit with it. It means you're not failing some test by feeling empty after achieving something. You're not ungrateful, and you're not doing life wrong. You're just running into a wall that was always going to be there. A wall everyone eventually hits, whether they read ancient scripture or peer-reviewed psychology journals, whether they live in a mansion or a studio apartment. The Quran repeatedly circles back to a different anchor. Not achievement. Gratitude. Not arrival. Remembrance. There's a verse that says if you are grateful, more will be given to you, not necessarily more possessions, but more of whatever it is that actually sustains a person. A kind of increase that doesn't fade the way a promotion high fades by Thursday. That's a strange kind of math. Gratitude as the multiplier, instead of acquisition. Noticing as the input, instead of chasing. Modern researchers, without meaning to, have started circling the same idea. Gratitude practices are one of the only interventions shown to reliably raise baseline happiness over time. Not the achievement. The noticing. People who keep short, simple gratitude lists, nothing elaborate, just a few honest lines a few times a week, show measurable shifts in mood and even physical markers of stress, tracked over months, not days. The effect isn't loud. It's slow. But unlike the spike from getting the job or the house, it doesn't fully collapse back to baseline the way achievement does. Which means the answer was never get more. It was notice what's already here, before you're forced to notice it by losing it. That reframe changes what a life actually looks like when you're living it well. Not a staircase of arrivals, each one supposed to finally be the one that satisfies. But something closer to a practice. A daily returning to what's already present, instead of a permanent wait for what's next. So go back to that morning. The one after you got the thing. Same ceiling. Same light through the blinds. Same quiet. Only now, imagine sitting in that quiet without waiting for it to turn into something bigger. Without immediately scanning for the next milestone to chase, the next title to add, the next person to prove something to. Just noticing that you're breathing. That the version of you who wanted this so badly a year ago would have given anything to be exactly where you are right now. The emptiness isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that you finally have room to look for something that won't fade by Thursday.